Okay, what we're going to take a look at now is adding details links so that when we click on this view button, instead of opening up on the right hand side, we get taken to a view of this component in its own root. So what we'll do, we'll go back to VS Code, and inside our roots in the app.tsx, let's just copy the activities down, and what we'll do, we'll say activities and then /, and then the way that we specify an individual activity is add a colon and then the ID, and this acts as a placeholder and is replaced with the actual activity ID when we navigate to this particular route. And of course, instead of the activity dashboard here, we want to display our activity details. Now, if you're wondering why some of these components are highlighted in yellow and some are highlighted in blue, then the ones in yellow are the ones that are just React components that do not observe our activity store. So our home page is not an observer, so it is a JSX element, and it returns JSX, and TypeScript recognizes this. The ones that are not highlighted in yellow, these are ones where we've added the observer to. So they don't just return a JSX component, they return a JSX component that's capable of observing observables. It doesn't matter whether they're colored or not on your IDE, it's just the way it's displayed on VS Code. And what we'll do, now that we have this in place, we'll head over to our activity list, and let's open this. And what we're doing at the moment is we've got an on-click to select the activity from our store. Now we're going to remove this. This does not need to be here anymore. And what we're going to do is say that our button is as, and then we're going to bring in link from React through to DOM. We don't need the nav link for this because as soon as we click on this button, it's going to take us to a new location. So we don't need any styling for this button. And then we'll specify to, and where we want to go, we'll need to add this in an expression, and we'll add backticks, and we'll say /activities, / and then $, and then the activity.id. And if we go and take a look at our browser, let's just refresh the page. And if I click on view to one of these activities, note that we just see a loading spinner, and we've still got our activity dashboard loaded in the background. Now we have been taken to our activity details component, but we don't have an activity loaded, so all we're doing is seeing this spinner. But what we will do is make sure that we don't display both the activity dashboard and the details page at the same time. And if we go back to our roots in the app component, then of course React Router has matched both of these roots and it's attempting to display both of these components. So we also want to put the exact path onto our activity dashboard here. And what we'll see is that the activity dashboard no longer is present when we're loading the activity details, but we need to add the logic so that we can go and get an individual activity. We're no longer passing this down as props to a child component, and we'll take a look at how we can do that next.